Let's take this long-haired mannequin from this to this. A really nice looking long layered with a tail. We've got a nice shag look with a really strong front fringe. Layers are always going to be your friend. They help clients with movement and texture. They really help a shape come to life. Now, let's couple that with a really strong front fringe and you've got a really modern take on layering. Let's jump into it. Okay, let's make this easy. I separated the top half from the bottom half and I broke it into quadrants. One just behind the ear to halfway on the head, halfway to behind the other ear, all the way to the front hairline. Now we can begin. Let's begin by taking a small subsection inside one of the quadrants, bringing it up flat and cutting straight across to create a round layer. Now we can use that as a guide all throughout the bottom half of the head. All right, now that we've got our guide established, we can bring this section up, look for that guide, flip it over, and easily cut right on top of it. If you have to square yourself up, make sure you do so that these sections are consistent all the way through. And continue through the entire left rear quadrant, bringing it up, finding your guide, and cutting right on top of it. Once you've completed that, let's go to the other side. As you move to the other quadrant, I'm going to stand over here and once again show my guide. I can bring up part of the prior section, lift it up straight, and once again I can square it up and see my guide right here. I want to center on that and show you that so that you can continue to move around the bottom half of the head by bringing all of this up and incorporating your prior guide into it and squaring things up and creating your layers. Let's finish this last panel on the back, squaring it up, using our guide from the previous section, and now we've completed the back. Let's move to the sides. Let's remove our clip and let's move into the side. I can break that down into two subsections and bring this up. And once again, you guys pull from your previously cut section to find your guide. Once you see that, cut straight across, bring this straight up, flatten it out, cut straight across, bring your second subsection in. Let's get all this weight out of here, make sure we incorporate all the hair. And once again, we can flatten that out and cut right on top of our guide. Again, you're squaring this up all the way through every single subsection and it's creating the interior movement and layering you want. Let's move to the other side and complete it. All right, let's get this left side complete. I'm bringing in some guide, drawing it in from the back, squaring this up in my fingers. I want to show you that right through here. Squaring that up, cutting flat, incorporating the second subsection, which is on the front hairline, getting her nice and squared up, seeing my guide, cutting straight across. And now the bottom half is complete. Let's move to the top. All right, we've dropped the top and I've separated the sections from behind the ear on either side and down the middle. You're going to incorporate everything so it's just a loose way of sectioning things out. Now to begin, I'm going to start in the center back and I'm going to incorporate some of the hair that we had previously cut. I need to see a guide and so do you. So if I draw this up, sure enough at the points of my fingers, you can see the guide right here. Now, using that guide, I'm going to go ahead and cut straight across. Bring that section straight through and now you've created a guide that can truly be brought through all of your top sections. Now that we've created our guide section for the top, let's draw in more hair and take it all the way through the remainder of the top section. Drawing this up, flattening it out, getting these layers set in with a flat cut, creating some really nice round layers all the way through the top section. This top section should be pretty easy because you've got a smaller section and you've got a guide underneath that you can follow all the way through. Let's speed this up and show you what we've got. Let's move to the other side now, and as you can see, I'm drawing this up, and once again, if I flip this down, I can see my guide right here. This is good news because I can move all the way through the top and not have to worry. I've got a constant guide to draw from. I can continue to take broad subsections. I want to go ahead and take broad stuff here just because I want to create movement in this interior. So broad sections are going to help me. As I continue around the back quadrant, you're going to notice me drawing all of this hair up, incorporating my guide, making sure that I can see it right here, leveling it out, and cutting square. Let's continue on through the front quarter now. I'm standing behind her because I want to show you my guide. I can draw it up from underneath. I can also draw it from the other side and see at the points of my fingers here. Again, completely pulling from the guides that I've created prior underneath and from the interior on the other side. This is going to set you up for success because you've always got a guide to refer from the side or underneath. Let's finish up her front quadrant here. Again, I'm going to incorporate as much of a broad section as I can to show you a guide. There it is. I'm taking these big, fat, broad sections, making sure I can level this out with my layering and square it up and complete this side over here, matching up my guides. Here it is at the points of my fingers. Sure enough, I see it. And we can finish out this front section. And now the interior is complete and we're left with the front fringe. Okay, I'm going to pop on the diffuser because I want to scrunch this curl. Before I start to mess with the front fringe, I need to see it a little bit more dry, and so do you. I have to see what the curl is going to do. So let's diffuse it real quick and then we'll finish up with our fringe. Got it? And stop it. We've used the diffuser and we've got hair all over, and that's intentional. I wanted to leave this down in front to show you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and create a small separation here on the front hairline because we want to show a stronger front fringe. And so some of this is dependent on what this curl is going to do. So in other words, I had to dry this to see this, but she wants a really strong framing through the front. And so I'm going to use my comb, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to come in through here lightly. I didn't start at the base, I actually started down here, and I'm going to intentionally point cut through to raise this up. I want to create a strong fringe on the front as she requested, but to get there, I need to go ahead and set a guideline and raise it up from there. Once I've got this established, we're going to raise it up even more. In order to do that, I'm going to start a little bit higher and start to bring this in. Again, some people want a strong front, some want a very fringy front or curtain bangs. In this case, she wanted something more defined. Let's go ahead and give it to her. Okay, as we finish up this front fringe, she wanted a very strong perimeter here, a very heavy front fringe, which offsets the interior layering. It really starts to open up her face, but define it too and become very strong. Absolutely love these front fringes. It just comes over the top of her eye. That's what she wanted, that's what she gets. So now you see we can frame this up after we diffused it. As I go through the interior now, you can start to really see a lot of this movement, a lot of this layers that come down to a nice little tail. A lot of these girls like these tails right now. Absolutely love that as well. It really defines the shape and draws it all the way through, gives you some really nice vertical feel all the way through the interior. And now she's got a front fringe. A really nice looking long layered with a tail, We've got a nice shag look with a really strong front fringe. Again, layers are your friend. It just pops that texture off, makes it come alive. Now more than ever, we've got some stronger shapes to work with, including a very long vertical feel that ends more of a tail feel, and then defining it with a very strong front fringe. You can make this longer, you can make it shorter, depends on the person you're working with. I absolutely love it because it defines things, and she's got a nice framed face throughout the interior. Again, she was diffused. I cut everything with my Shark Fin 6.25. Absolutely love this shear. Find the shear that fits you. Shark Fin's got a bunch of them. You guys, thanks for watching. If you like this, please hit that like button. You want to follow? Hit that bell. Follow us so you get notifications of new videos. We've got a lot more coming your way. Thanks for watching.